Hello and welcome. In this short video, I just want to demonstrate that you don't need to have screaming fans and crazy hot temperatures in order to get a nice gaming and playable experience with many games today, particularly with these modern GPUs in mobile devices. As I have here, this is the NVIDIA RTX 4080 in the Acer Predator Helios 18, and I'll be using this one to demonstrate. In particular, I think this point is much more relevant here because this device spins the fans at well over 6,000 RPM at its max, and it gets quite loud. So without headphones, it becomes not an enjoyable experience, and they almost become a requirement. But with a little bit of just tweaking and just understanding how to manage best the thermals versus the actual performance and the noise levels on the laptop, it's a triangle that you have to balance. You'll actually get the better experience with very little loss to actual performance. So here we'll just jump into Starfield and I'll show you what I mean here. So for example, right now I'm running at high. So let's see, with everything turned on to high, I've got my upscaling turned off because this is an NVIDIA GPU and we do not have FSR2 support. And the other thing I've turned off is VRS because it is quite taxing on the GPU. It helps give us a little bit more boost to power. So in this video, I'm not going to demonstrate any, any detailed stats, but I just want to focus particularly on the frame rates and the noise levels. So right now, if I open up Predator Sense, I'm running in the turbo mode. So as soon as I start playing the game here, it's going to really start to crank up the fans. You can start to hear them now. And if we go over to monitoring, we'll see that the fan speeds ramp well above 5,000, almost close to 6,000 RPM, and it gets quite loud. So the way to mitigate that, particularly on this laptop, there's 4 different modes. There is a silent mode, there is a balance mode, a performance, and then finally the turbo. Do you really need that turbo mode to get a good playable experience on this particular laptop in this game? And for that matter, many other gaming laptops this year. With the particular 4000 series, the point I'm trying to make here is that you can make use of any of the other modes to get a really nice, quiet, but still an effective gaming experience, particularly when you combine it with the fact that these displays, now almost all major gaming laptops come with G-Sync or FreeSync, Premium, FreeSync, Premium Pro, some sort of variable refresh rate displays. As you can see here now, the fans ramp up and it starts to basically drown out the audio from the game itself. So if we look at our frame rates here, and we're starting with turbo mode because I want to demonstrate how it actually steps down. So as I run around here, I'm seeing about 62 frames per second. I just set up my little outpost here and just trying to get going. This is one of the recommended places to start with your outpost. But anyway, you can see here that I'm running at around 66 FPS at high settings. And if I press the button here, there's a mode toggle on the laptop itself. If I press the toggle, it will first switch back down into quiet mode. So now with quiet mode, it drops down to basically much lower wattage. We don't care what that is at this point, but we care about the frame rates and how the game actually feels. It's the perceived resolution and the perceived playability of the game versus what the actual numbers, power figures, and all those things say. As you've probably seen with the RTX 4000 series, it's quite a different segmentation than prior years. So 40, 50, 60, and 70 get lumped into a lower power level bundle, around 100 watts for gaming workloads, whereas the 4080 and 4090 really do push quite a ways up to that 175 watts. In this particular laptop, it's 165 watts maximum TGP on the RTX 4080. But you can see here that I don't see any judder, I don't see any screen tearing, I don't see any adverse effects because this is an NVIDIA G-Sync display that's also AMD FreeSync Premium certified. So that means it's going to have that variable refresh rate all the way down to, I believe, 30 FPS if I remember correctly with the G-Sync. And with 45 FPS, I'm literally running now in silent mode, and I'm playing the latest AAA game at the full native Quad HD resolution of this display. I have no audio, no fan noise, and I can enjoy my experience in quiet. Now, if I press the button again, the mode toggle, so now it will bump up into balance mode, gives it a little bit more power, and now it starts to ramp up the fans to try to manage a little bit better. And look at what's just happened. So by putting it into balance mode and letting the BIOS do what it's optimized to do, I've now gotten almost that 60 plus FPS experience that I was getting with turbo with a fraction of the fan noise. So almost silent still, but if we look over at Predator Sense, we'll see here that we're running somewhere around 3,000 Yeah, 2600 RPM. So less than half of the fan speeds. They're still running, you know, it's still starting to heat up, but at the end of the day, you know, I've been testing this laptop extensively. It does not get hot anywhere on the keyboard surface where you'd be putting your hands for extended periods of time, and I found that to be the case pretty much across all of the gaming laptops that I've tested this year, perhaps with the exception of one or two here that were 15-inch smaller chassis laptops, and you do get a little bit of heat, but much, you know, improved, significantly improved over the prior year. So now you can see here I'm running in balance mode, still pretty much quiet. I can hear a little whirring of the fan noise, but at ear level it's silent to my ears, and I'm running at around 66 FPS. Now if I press the next mode up, and now I'll go into performance mode, so it flashes the lights on the keyboard. Now you can see I've gotten maybe another perhaps 10%. So we were at 61, 62 FPS, we're now jumped up to 68. So another at most 10% performance in a game that really doesn't need triple digit frame rates to be really enjoyed, because this is all about visual fidelity. And now I can see here that we're still very close to the figure that we had on turbo mode. And finally, we'll crank it all the way up. Let's see where we go from here. So cranked all the way up to turbo mode. Now the fans will start to ramp all the way up as far as they can. Right now they're still in auto mode, not max fans mode. It gets even louder than this. So you can see here we've gained perhaps a 5% advantage to our frame rates, but the fan noise has gone up significantly. So the key takeaway is you don't need to play at the highest mode possible with the highest number of wattages to get a good playable experience. Experiment a little bit. It doesn't actually take that long in the games that you want to play. Try some of the different modes. Let me put this down to quiet so you can hear me clearly. You know, and I like to play on balance, and on this laptop here actually works very well. It's very nice, close to 60 FPS right off the bat there. And of course you can crank this if you prefer. You can go here to the display and crank it all the way up to, let's say, Ultra, for example. Turn off the FSR, and we'll leave VRS off as well. And with that, you'll see now that we're still getting about mid 50s, low 50s, but because of the visual fidelity improvements, it's actually a much nicer experience. And that G-Sync display, the variable refresh rate display with the AMD FreeSync premium support, keeps you on lock, so you're not getting any screen tearing, screen juddering. I'm so happy to report that this year, all of the laptops that I've tested, this has been a tremendous experience. The displays have gone leaps and bounds beyond what I've seen in the prior years. If you buy anything but the most budget-oriented laptops this year, you'll have a fantastic gaming experience. So play around with the performance modes on your laptop. Try to find a balance between the different performance modes that you have and the FPS that you'd like to get in the particular game that you want to play, and you'll have a nice and quiet but a high FPS balanced gaming experience very easily this year. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and please like my channel and share my content across your social media so I can continue to bring you more content like this in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.